Woohoo.
All right, we're live. I can't hear myself. I need some more headphone
Test
volume.
1, 2.
Yeah, so I need a little more headphone volume there, Brycey. Good news, Chris.
What's that?
We didn't buy the building,
Okay.
but we are going to lease the entire building
Nice. Starting.
tomorrow.
Okay.
So yeah, our lease will be $3,900. We'll have to pick up the tab for the grass. Yeah, I can hear a little better now.
What's
That's
that?
good.
Couple $200 a month.
Yeah, I'm probably going to negotiate that with, because we're getting new grass people, new maintenance people at my house. So
Okay.
we'll get that squared away here and get them to cut it when I'm not here so it doesn't mess up my car. And so we have a 3-year lease, so that gives us plenty of time with a 2-year option, 60-day notice, and so an option to extend 2 years.
At the end of 3 years.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So that's the best option, best I could hope for. And then, worst case scenario, if we, let's say we need to be out of here in a year because we're out of space, then, which I think would be unlikely, we could make it work here for at least a couple of years, I would think. If it just so happened that we were, we were so big and selling so much stuff that we needed more, then the money wouldn't matter as much. And so now I'm not on the hook, for this place. I could just close up shop tomorrow, and we all go get jobs somewhere, and I'm not on the hook to own the building, and because I don't. What? That. Okay. 10-second pause. All right, we're back. Got it. So anyway, we're here, and we should be good. So we'll have the other side, and I'm not going to do like cut holes in the wall or anything like that. We're just going to walk outside, and so we'll figure out what we're going to do with the office and stuff like that. We're going to put basically storage over there. I'm going to leave my whole work area in the middle here, and the other side will just be storage up to the ceiling. So that's good.
Nice.
Less risk.
Yeah.
All the reward. And, I'm going to pay a higher lease payment, but I also don't have to come out of pocket for a massive down payment. And, again, I know some of you are cringing at this, saying, well, you want to own a building and, renting is a waste. Well, sometimes leasing makes a whole lot more sense from a business perspective than owning does. When long-term, this isn't the building. This isn't going to be it. According to my vision, this is not the place. And so I was just buying it because I could. And then, what if things don't work out like I'm planning? And then I'm stuck with a debt on a building. I could pay it off and all that, but that wouldn't make any sense. To take my money and use it to, why not use the banks?
Nice. That's good news to start us off with.
Yeah.
Here today.
Yeah, so we're good.
We're expanding.
Correct.
Warehouse space. Was that 1,600 square feet?
Correct.
Added? Nice.
Another office. So now we're going to have a bidding war. Who gets the office?
Who are the...
I do. You guys stay where you're at.
Sounds good to me.
I don't need an office. My office is everywhere. My office is the sky, the clouds. So, yeah. So that's what's going on.
All right. So let's see here. Busy day around here at OG today. Lots going on. We have somebody's commenting on the wearing my OG basic shirt now. Best quality from best channel on YouTube. So that's cool.
I like that.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's a nice seg for a commercial. Bryce and I got everything lined up so that these 1M giveaway shirts, the basic orange, the Maddieisms orange, and the Do Average Elsewhere, they are now in the store at $15 a pop. So
we don't have a lot of them. It's just so that when I'm sitting around,
right.
I didn't want to, I wanted them to be kind of special edition, but we, over ordered a bit. So yeah, they're in there. Go buy those in various sizes.
Somewhere around 60-ish shirts left. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's not
so
bad.
we'll clean those up. And so if you want one of those, you can get one for $15. And these are all printed on Los Angeles Apparel, but we're going to start printing on American Apparel as well. American Apparel went away for a while, And so, the American Apparel, Los Angeles Apparel, based on pretty much the same cut. The American Apparels are a little bit longer, and so we're going to have, both of those. Just depends on what's available. Because what we found is these obscure 50/50 shirts that no one else is willing to buy are really hard to get stock-wise. I just assumed they would have millions of these shirts. They don't. I'm the only idiot who's spending, $8 cost on a shirt and then still having to print on it, where everybody else is buying junk, New Age or not New Age. What's it called?
Gildan, Next Level.
Next Level, yeah. I was thinking New Age cabinets, which are also junk. So anyway, that's what's going on with the shirts.
Just Drive wants to know on the subject of shirts here. What shirt size are you wearing?
I always wear XL.
And he's got an XL. I got a 2XL.
Yeah, I'm hoping not to have to do 2XL again, but I'm flirting with a 240 again. God dang it!
Ooh,
this is the zebra cakes. You ruined me. You broke the seal.
Yeah, if you're at 240, that means we're about to cross then, because I'm under 240 right now. By the way, yeah.
Shoot.
Just a note there. All right, so let's see. There's lots of talk here asking about the new car, about what's next with certain cars. Now are you going to be distracted and never do another Corvette video again? So what's the plan going forward?
Actually,
in the near future?
I'm going to leave here this afternoon and go shoot a Corvette first drive video. So I'm going to do that. We actually took the PPF off yesterday. I wanted to get the stupid Carbon 65 sticker off the passenger side, so I didn't shoot a video. But we pulled the little bit of PPF that was left off of the car, so that's off. And then this weekend I'm going to be working on, I got headers, we're going to do the brakes, we're going to do the drop spindles, maybe do the shifter. We'll see. Raz and Chelsea are coming down tomorrow. They'll be here tomorrow night, and so Saturday, Sunday, Monday we'll be working on the Corvette. So the headers, I haven't gotten the Corsa exhaust yet, so I'm waiting for that. So we'll do the headers mid-pipe, hopefully drop spindles and brakes, this weekend, maybe even the shifter. We'll see how far we get. So I'll be shooting all those videos. So first drive video, header install, and all that other stuff. Then I've already scheduled with Billy. I think November 11th is when I'm taking the car down. So I got to have the car corrected. Billy doesn't do coatings for people that do their own polishing, except for me, because I'm special. So he's going to allow me to I'm going to correct it myself, and then I'm going to ship the car down. Ryan's going to do S-Tech Dynashield on it. This is his first use of it, so we convinced him to use it on the car. And so John Clevin from S-Tech USA sent the roll down there, so we have the roll there. I got to call Eric at G-Technic and get him to send Billy a few bottles of Crystal Serum Ultra. So we'll do Ultra on the car. I'm not going to PPF the entire thing, just the high impact areas, and the mirrors and the front clip and the roof and the some of the other areas. So I got to order the ACS rock guards here. I got to order those here shortly so I can have that in time for getting all that stuff done. So the Corvettes, you're going to get more than you bargained for over the next several weeks. But I have several trips in between there to do. So the RS is getting... I'll probably do the PPF and stuff. I don't have any major plans for driving it far. So the front clip is PPF. The mirrors already have PPF on it. The roof doesn't. So hopefully I don't get smacked by anything. But... I think the RS will be fine for a little while, so we'll probably do that late November. Correct it, and I'll probably gonna wrap the whole car again. I think do the whole RS, and we'll see how S-Tech does. If I do S-Tech, or if Ryan will let me do S-Tech, or it'll be Suntech and then Crystal Serum Ultra as well on that. I already scheduled to paint the door handles, the wart, the XM antenna. So the door handles will be white, the wart will be black, and we're going to paint the calipers lizard green. Painting is a better option, I think, than powder coating. First of all, you won't be able to get lizard green in powder coat. It'd have to be, you don't have as many color options. You have to because you have to bake them, you'd have to take apart all the seals, and then you have to rebuild the caliper. So you have to basically tear it apart and rebuild it. Whereas paint, they're going to paint it on the car. They're going to mask the car and paint it. So, it'll be like an afternoon, and I'll have the thing done. And then if I scratch it, we just do it again, fix it. And they have all the inlays, so Ultimate Audio is going to do that for me, or Ultimate Auto. It's not audio anymore. So they're going to do that for me, and it'll take an afternoon. I think we're doing that week after SEMA. And then that'll allow me to keep the green stripe for a little while. I'm going down, not next week, the following week to PSI to complete the M5. So I'll be doing the intake, suspension, all the suspension stuff, sway bars, the monoballs, the coilover kit. We'll be doing the steering wheel, doing the tune, doing the aluminum 3D paddles. So the M5 will be completed that day. And so at the same time, I'm picking up my Vossen VS20, I think they're V21S, they're called. So the Vossen wheels are done. They're at PSI. I already shipped them. I decided to do pilot Super Sports instead of Cup 2s. The Cup 2s just aren't very good on the Corvette run flat version for anything other than, ultimate dry traction. They're really noisy because they're so big and flat. So I'm going to do pilot Super Sports on the Vossens. I'm also going to try to get a hold of the OE Carbon 65 wheels. So Troy's hooking me up with his buddy from Whitmore Chevrolet, so I can hopefully order a new steering wheel, some new interior parts, get the car correct. And I mentioned also I got new carbon ceramic rotors for the front, new pads for the front and rear. We'll put new pad wear indicators. We'll put new fluid, flushed fluid. Yeah, so I got a lot of projects that will get done in the next couple of weeks. I'm also traveling to Greenville next week, and then going to SEMA 2 weeks after that, and then possibly a Miami trip in between. But I don't know that I'm going to be able to fit that in. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff, and I'll keep the M5 for as long as I feel like it. I'll probably be selling the M5, and then likely selling the Corvette, sometime in the summer of next year. I think I'd like to have the Corvette through Corvettes of Carlisle, maybe sell it there, and sell the car then, and then I'd like to have a GT4 come fall or winter of next year. That's the hope. Built to my spec.
All right, we got a couple super chat questions here. Number one is from Blaze Bowers. Would you ever dial in a Hellcat in the future? You got any desire to do?
No, probably not. I mean, I don't want to say never, but I'll never have one. It's just not my style. I don't really like big cars, so that's why the M5 that's probably why I don't like it very much. And that's a big car. And I generally don't like American cars, so I have a big American car. It's like a double whammy. And my dad really likes those, so maybe I will end up dialing in one someday.
There you go.
So, but no, I don't have any intent to do one of those.
All right, Jeff Christian is asking, what are your thoughts on the C6 Z06?
Yeah, I mean, it's just every generation you go back, there's a bit of datedness to it. And if I hate or really dislike the interior and the seating position of a C7, a C6, I would assume would just be worse. I drove Raz's ZR1, and I like the C7 better. I don't know. I don't see a need. I think the only reason I would go back to that would be is if I couldn't swing the cost of a C7. And a C8 is not. That thing is. I don't get it. I get it, but good luck with that. The thing's hideous.
All right, here's a good question here about SEMA. What's the main goal for you of attending SEMA? Is there any particular product that has eluded you or that you'll be looking for particularly?
No, not this year. Every other year I've always had some product I was chasing. I don't think it wasn't last year. The year before I was chasing Rupes. So no, I don't have anything specific. So this year's going to be fun. I'm going to be looking for the obscure, something I missed, something that's interesting, something that that I never thought about, and I'm just free to go and enjoy. I don't book any appointments. I don't, because it's an industry show. So the idea, everybody wants you to nail down a time to come and be with them. so they can try to sell you some crap. Well, I don't do that. So no appointments. I'm there I get there Monday. It's the show's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I leave Saturday. I take my time getting there and take my time going home, and I get to spend it just walking and learning. And it's also cool because there's lots of people that I see that that watch the videos, so it's really neat to be a little mini celebrity. And I don't really care about that, but I care about the getting to shake people's hands and learn a little bit about their story. And a lot of times I end up walking around with people that I just met, and we kind of dig into some stuff. So that's what that's the agenda, is to go and just absorb it.
All right, we have a couple bike-related questions here. Mario wants to know, what's the latest with the Yeti?
I got to get it done. So I've got the kit. I just opened it up yesterday, and I almost had a heart attack looking at how much freaking pieces there are to put the XPEL satin on it. So then I started to get ready to do it, and I realized I don't have any baby shampoo, so I got to go to the store, get some baby shampoo, and I planned on doing that today, and it's not going to happen today. So yeah, I got to get moving on the darn thing so I can go ride it. But I'm not in any rush. I mean, where am I going? I mean, I've been riding my Giant, and I've been traveling, so I was in the mountains. So, I'll get to it when I feel like it.
All right, related to that, Rocky here put a super chat question. And will you be doing more videos on your bike? So are there any bike videos?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be doing the PPF install video. Maybe I'll do something I'm going to delete the dropper post. There's really not any reason for that for me. I'm not doing any downhill stuff. And the dropper post on it, I think, is 150 millimeter, and it's too long. It's like maybe a half an inch too tall for me, even in its lowest position. So what I have to do is I have to bring it down a little bit just to be able to get proper pedal distance. So I got to get a seat post, so I'll be pulling that out. I might make a video of that. And then I still am kind of thinking through tools and stuff, getting a tool set and outfitting that in Wash Bay 2.0.
Does Sonic have like a bike tool set of any sort?
No.
That'd be cool. Let's see here. I saw a question I wanted to get to. Oh, this is also a bike question from Morpheus. Did you get the saddles? So I think I saw a few saddles sitting out there.
Yeah, thanks, man. I saw 3 saddles. I'm like, oh crap! This is like me testing detail sprays and like having too many of them. So now I got to get out and ride really often to try to figure out what's the right saddle. So yeah, thanks, man. I'll be putting them all on and figure out which is the one that's the magic one. I'm hoping when I find the one, it's like, okay, this is it. So yeah, I appreciate that.
All right, Vanessa wants to know if you'd ever consider having a meet and greet. We did this past year, actually, Vanessa. So
yeah, I don't know. That kind of stuff makes me nervous, though. Like no one's going to show up. Have the audacity to have a meet and greet, or that kind of thing, and a meet up, and then there's 3 people that come, and I'm like, oh crap, I look like a freaking idiot. So I always try to, if I'm going to do something like that, we would do it more like an open house, and I'm working on this project, just come drop by, so that way I don't look like a total idiot.
Let's see. Christopher on Facebook wants to know, you mentioned in the M5 SwissVex video that you're going to be chasing a vacuum setup. Mm-hmm. Will you approach it the same way as the pressure washer series by testing multiple brands? Cox has a nice vacuum hose reel setup I've had my eye on, but I'd much rather you buy it and test it first. Haha.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I'll do, and buy a bunch of vacuums and see what works. So yeah, I think that's going to be the way to go. I can get more done quickly rather than buying one and trying it for 6 months and then I don't really like this and finding something better. So maybe a good way to do it would be to buy a bunch of them and then get a bunch of dirty carpets and try to see which one I like. I mean, pretty much all vacuums seem to get the job done. For me, it's going to be a lot more of the ergonomics of it. Does it clean well? Yes, but does it, how does the cord wrap up and what are the accessories like and how can I store it? Those are the things that I think that I may add a little different take. Putting it away for a vacuum is just important to me as how well it functions. I hate I hate dealing with the shop vac. It freaking annoys the crap out of me. It's not good.
All right, let's see. Kevin Swisher on Instagram said, "Would you ever consider selling fitted hats? The fitment is much better than flex fit or snapback once you figure out your size." I know
It's
I would
hard
buy them.
because then we'd have to stock. Like it'd be so hard to stock that kind of stuff. And I could probably be convinced. Fitted hats never fit me right, so that's why I never really like them. But yeah, like I'd love to have like a new era, like something that we know is like the hat that everyone would want. So we're getting to that point to where, as we make more designs, we can figure out what's the hat, and then I can invest in buying, all various sizes. And obviously there's a formula for, how many people are average, and then everything that, across the, the standard deviation curve.
All right, this is from J Martin 2382 on Instagram. Matt, I recently purchased your Sunjo Ultimate Accessory Package. It has drastically improved my user experience. Thank you for offering this top-of-the-line package. I love it. So,
yeah, it takes a lot. It took a lot of work to get to the point to be able to offer these things in a somewhat efficient fashion. Hopefully, we can continue to improve the understanding of it, and hopefully someday I'll get bored and slow down a little bit so I can continue to improve all the stuff that we've created. And I don't think that'll ever happen. But what I would like to do at some point is to narrow in and focus in on providing more and more and more granular detail on each thing. So that way, if you were going to spend $500 on a accessory package for a $200 pressure washer, that I would give you anything you could possibly want to know, and you could choose to watch the short form, the long form, and everything in between. And so we'll continue to chase that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't think you'd be hard pressed for someone to say, "Man, I spent that money and man, it sucks using it." Then they probably didn't hook something up right. It really is. It changes the user experience drastically, and for that's the reason I think you would spend $500, because then you can carry forward. A lot of those things will likely outlive your pressure washer.
Andrew wants to know, have you had any experience or feedback for Angel Wax Clarity? Have you used that?
Yeah, I've used it several times on the M5. It seems to be pretty decent, but I need more time with it. And I'm not sure about H2Go either. I mean, again, I've only had it on there for like a week that I've actually driven the thing. So we'll see. I'll be sure to give you updates. You'll know because I'll have a video saying new product in the store. Angel Wax Clarity.
Just Drive says, I'm 6'3", I weigh 170 pounds. What size shirt do you guys recommend? Looking to buy a few.
Large.
Yeah, that sounds like a large.
Yep.
Matthew Chung wants to know, how much does audio quality matter to you in a vehicle?
A lot. Yeah, a lot. But a car. I don't use headphones. I don't listen to it in my theater. I don't listen to it in the house. I only listen to music in the car. And so to me, that would be the place, although it's probably the most harsh environment. Because it would be harshest environment, not most harsh. It's the harshest environment for audio, but, it's a challenge to make it sound decent in there. And so the first thing I always do, like I got in the GT3 RS today, and sure enough, the bass and treble are turned to 9. The Bose surround is turned on. The linear smoothing is turned on. So I turned all of that off. I ended up, settling on, and I changed the balance and fader in order to try to get because cars, all the sound comes, if you're sitting 12 inches from the left speaker and 3 feet from the right speaker, all you hear is the left speaker, and so you have to balance right in order to bring the soundstage over to the center of the windshield, or wherever you want it to be. Some people prefer it to be over the steering wheel. I like it to be over the center of the windshield to sound like it's centered. And so I sat and adjusted the really crappy Bose system, turned off all the other Bose bull crap, and tried to make it at least sound somewhat decent. But yeah, I'd love to do a stereo in the RS.
Efren wants to know, what do you think? Do you have any experience with Adam's new bug remover?
No, but don't use it. We don't need bug removers. There's no reason for a bug remover. Your car should be waxed, sealed, or coated. Just wash it, and the bugs come off. There's no reason to spray anything. If it's destroying the bugs, it's destroying the wax sealant or coating. So don't go there. Just use soap. Soap, water, and then get whatever little bit of bugs are left over with your drying aid in your drying process. There's no free lunch here. So yeah, don't use that crap.
Ryan wants to know, is there any update on foam inserts for Sabre cabinets?
No.
And then what torque and breaker bar are you using for GT3 center lock?
Precision Instruments, but I would like to get the Sonic one because the Sonic one looks sick. It's black. So I want to get one. I'm going to get one soon. Thanks for reminding me. One more thing I got to buy.
Yeah, great, Ryan. Let's see. Danny, Matt, have you seen Stan's dart plug for tubeless tire patches? Looks good. Never used it. What do you use?
I forget which one I bought. I think it was crap, what was that company called? Not Lychee. Dang it, I can't remember, but I put it in my pack. So it's similar idea of, you just have a plug and patch kit. Crap. Can't remember the name of it. But it's like a little circle tube that's a little aluminum lightweight tube that you just slide in your pack, and so it has like tire plugs. But that's what I bought.
Pablo wants to know, are you guys okay with people stopping by the OG headquarters? And if so, could I buy some things while I'm there? Yes, definitely, Pablo.
Yeah, anytime you want.
Yeah, we had 3 or 4 visitors earlier today, actually.
Yeah.
And then let's see who Dan chimed in afterwards. They welcome visitors. I did some shopping while I was there, and they shipped it to my home in Minnesota. Great experience. So yeah, you can buy it and take it with you. You can buy it and we'll ship it to you, whatever. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, and then sometimes on the weekend people are around, but that's not really a given on any weekend.
Yeah, weekends are tough. I'll be here all weekend this weekend though. If you want to stop by. Before you know it, you'll be installing the headers, and I'll be watching.
Let's see. How did you meet Mike, NorCal F80? He is super talented. How did you guys meet? Just through the group?
Yeah, I think when did we act? We met at when I hosted the the moderators weekend. When we did the S2000 and the Raptor. And yeah, he was just watching the videos, and I think the first time we had any interaction, he sent me an email where him and all of his kids were wearing the what's that? Be Obsessed or Be Average shirt, the one where I'm infringing on Grant Cardone's trademark. So that was a very short-lived shirt because some kid copied the Grant Cardone logo, and then I put it on my shirt, not knowing who the heck Grant Cardone was. I'm wishing I never knew who Grant Cardone was. You want to talk about the epitome of just hardcore salesman. Just ugh.
Minnesota, I'm coming down.
Why would anybody live there?
Come on down.
Move away from there immediately.
But it's I think the high today was 79 or 80 today here.
Yeah,
so it's still a little warm down here.
Yeah, I guess Target's there. What else is there?
Let's see. Douglas says he went to buy one of the $15 shirts. Good job, Douglas. Wound up spending $175.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's the hook. That's the Maddie move right there. I get you. I stick it to him. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Jared wants to know, will you ever offer an OG spec foam gun for a garden hose? I found with my 3 cars that have CarPro C-quartz, I don't find the need for a pressure washer every wash.
I don't know. I don't think so. We are very close to getting a quick disconnect for the MTM foam cannon, though. My buddy Rusty is working on that. So he sent me the prototype. Did I have you send him? You sent him some
they
of the...
shipped out this week.
Yeah, okay, good. So you sent him a couple foam cannons to use as for prototyping. And so hopefully we'll have a quick disconnect to take the foam cannon off of the bottle. Be sweet. Johan
wants to know, do you miss the Shelby GT350?
I would say I miss it. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting in one and ripping it, but I like that car. Every time I see one, I'm like, dang, that thing looks sick. They sound great. They look tough. In many cases, I like how they look with the darn stripes on them, as long as it isn't my stripes, because the stripes are, they never hold up. But yeah, I like that car. But I mean, I don't think I'd ever get another one. I could see myself getting a GT500 just to experience that.
Let's see. Nathan says, got my first order from OG this week. Amazing quality and great packaging. So, well done, Janet. Let's see here. Oh, Dan answers her question here about living in Minnesota. Other than the winter, Minnesota is a very good place to live. The quality of life is very high. Excellent schools.
Okay.
Strong job market. And yes, Target is here. That's why I have a job.
Yeah, I get it.
And there's no love bugs up there either.
Yeah, but winter is 9 months out of the year. Yeah. It's snowing already. It's not even Halloween. Gosh, you poor people. I feel bad for you. And it's like minus. It's not like 25 degrees. It's like minus 40. That's horrible. Man, that would suck. So God bless you. God bless y'all up there in the great white north.
I'm sure they question why we live here sometimes. I can understand.
It is very sweaty. Lots of bugs.
Oh, let's see. What's your favorite thing about the GT3 RS, the new one? You've had it for like a day now. Driven it a couple times.
Yeah, probably the new PDK. Yeah, the PDK tuning is insane. It's so good. Yeah, I mean, I like the look of the dot one better. The dot one I think looks better. So I'm not super excited about how this one. I don't dislike how it looks. But the engine PDK combination of this car is just on a whole nother level. And it's so sharp. The car is just, it takes a great car and makes it beyond great. And then, I like green. So I got a green interior, which is kind of cool. I don't like yellow.
What will the exhaust spec be for the .2 RS?
Dundon catted sport headers, side muffler delete. Their Black Series center muffler. And we're going to drop the engine, put the Dundon plenum on it, and we'll be getting 40, 50 wheel horsepower, something like 30 to 50 wheel horsepower out of it. So with no check engine lights or anything like that. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing. I got to get it scheduled with Charles, and I guess I got to order my set and pay the money for it, and then I want to shoot a video of that process, that install process. I think that would be really useful. That's what I'm going to be doing.
All right, this is a timely question here. Would you ever make a detail cart if you don't want to mount the pressure washer on the wall?
Yeah, I just put a post in the Facebook group, which I forgot I did, so I haven't even checked the answers. You can tell how much interest I have in a detail cart. Company reached out to me, Luxor, that makes rolling carts. What are they? Plastic resin or whatever they're made out of, these plastic carts. And so I said to him, well, do you want to, I'm not really interested in buying what exists. I would want to buy something built to spec. The problem is I don't know what my spec would be because I've never really had any desire for a detail cart. I just walk over to my countertop. I don't have stuff laying around on the ground everywhere. So I probably should like one. The reason why I don't like one is because I don't know where to put it. I don't like to have stuff out. I don't have stuff laying around all over the place. It's bad enough I got buckets and a rolling stool. So, I mean, I don't like to see things out, and I don't want to waste expensive cabinet real estate to put rolling carts in. So, yeah, we're gonna see. I got to go dig into that and then provide that information to the company and see if they want to innovate. If they want to innovate, then I don't really care.
All right, Nicholas has a question. He was here at OGHQ the other day, actually. Perfect world would be a .1 front end with a .2 rear end. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean the rear end is fine. I think I like the rounded tail lights better than the sort of jaggedy angular ones. The wing on the on the new one's super cool. Yeah, I mean the Nacra ducts are super functional, but they look a little ugly.
You ever miss the sapphire blue GT3? ST wants to know that.
Yeah, that car's great. I mean, it was super low. You can lower it more than the RS. That was way cool. And that one had regular seats, which was nice and comfy to get in and out of. So yeah, I like that car. It was for sale. I almost bought it to do a giveaway with it. I thought that would have been cool, but too many projects, too many giveaways.
What initially sparked your interest in Porsche? Adam wants to know.
Yeah, it's just kind of the natural progression. I've always been a German sports car fan, and always just assumed I would end up in a 911 someday, or hoped that I would. And so as I started to really get into cars in the late 90s, then when I could actually start getting them, or it was realistic, I'd be graduating from college at some point and probably have a decent job. Then I started with Honda, and then the next progression was BMW, and then the progression from there would have been a 911. And I actually had gone to Sebring in my M3 in 2011, and I heard all these GT3s. I'm like, man, this don't sound good. There were several of them that were like track ready, and they didn't sound good at all, or so I thought. And it took a while for that kind of that flat six sound to grow on me after I really had some experience with it. And then, once you sit in a 911 and drive it, it's over. There's nothing like it. It's just perfect, seating position, and it's just fun. Every time you get in it to drive.
Yeah, I think our friend Chad is falling into that little trap now.
Trap.
Yeah, shout out to Chad. Sorry, Chad. Sorry, April, I guess. Let's see. Douglas and Zach both want to hear about your experience in the Ariel Atom.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that I'm like, I think this would be cool. I said to Tony when I was there, I was like, you want me to sell your Ariel Atom? Let me go drive it. He's like, yeah, do it. I'm like, oh, shoot. I didn't think he was going to let me do it. And so I'm like, oh, crap, I got to go drive this thing. I think it would be really, really fun to drive one around like roads that I knew, or like mountain roads where there aren't like freaking traffic around all over the place. It was surprising that I didn't have, it would be nice to have a helmet on driving it. But it was surprising that it wasn't like blasting, wind into my eyeballs. Like I could drive it. And it's awesome. It's like take everything great about a Honda and then make it like half the weight and put a big turbo on it and put the turbo right next to your eardrums. And the thing is so cool. It was neat. It was getting in it. I'm like, I would never own something like this. I have no interest in owning something like that. I would never want to be in one of those things on a track, either as a passenger or as a driver. But it was super cool, to get to experience. And now for me, I'm like, okay, check that off the list.
But no interest ever.
No.
Yeah.
Yep. Just like a motorcycle. Been there, done that. Check it off the list. Move on.
Connor wants to know, how did you get into Crown forklifts, and what do you like most about them? It's a good question, Connor, because he was actually driving the forklift today.
I don't know. I was searching for pallet jacks, and then kind of found that Crown seemed to be, their website is fantastic, and they provide lots of information. Doing a little bit of research, I haven't done a ton of research on any of them, and so I love the pallet jack so much. I'm like, the lifts look super legit too. So I'm sure there are better ones, but it just spoke to me. It's one of those things where I did a tiny little bit of research. Obviously not enough, because when this thing showed up, I freaked out. It was too big. It still is too big for our place here, but it's doing the job. And I got in there like a gosh darn natural. I'm like knowing exactly what I'm doing in that thing. So I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to. I've got job security now.
You can put that right next to your detailing certificate. You're also a certified forklift operator now after this morning.
I got to get the skills verified certificate. I need to get rolling on that.
Let's see. This question came up a while ago. I haven't heard this one in a while, so we'll go back to this one. Have you been able to try Auto Fanatic's wheel cleaner? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Yeah,
I had version 1 and version 3. I think he's on version 4. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not touchless. It just depends on what you're looking to accomplish. But I don't find any of them to be touchless. It's okay. I mean, I like Brake Buster better, so that's why I chose. I mean, Phil and I talked a little bit about it. If I was in love with it, then we would figure out how to get it done. He can't. He's having a hard time even supplying his demand. So to add my demand to it as well. I didn't love it enough to say, well, we're going to deal with all the quirks of, helping develop a product. But it's good. I mean, it's a good product. I like the fact that he's not trying to release a line of products. This is something he's passionate about, and he's been chasing this one product. And he spent a lot of time, a lot of money, and he's probably put every penny back into it that he's made on it to try to make it better. And that's how he'll win. Unlike other I mean, it's just amazing how many generic one-off detailing lines there are. I get a DM on Instagram, seems like every other week, of, hey, I've got this product or that product that's clearly just blended, that we put in a lot of time and energy, and that you've put nothing into it in comparison to what I would. And so Phil is a good example, AutoFanatic is a good example of the amount of effort that I would want someone to put into a product. And so if Phil had a product line, it would take him 20 years to develop it, a la Maguire's or Adams or even Griot's Garage, or, a lot of these longer term, product lines that have been 15, 20 years in the making. And whether it's blended by a blender or it's done, in-house, I generally find the in-house stuff is going to be more, was going to be better. But again, AutoFanatic's wheel cleaner is a good example of someone chasing something that he feels doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, what he's looking to accomplish. And then he may be able to take that product and spin some other things off of it as well, like a car shampoo and some other things, where he could eventually start to develop the start of a product line. But if you were, that's how you do it. Instead of, if anyone comes out with 4 or 5 products in like short order, it's because they just went to a blender. The blender already had some generic recipes, and they tweaked the recipe based on, you said, well, I'd like this to be a little bit more slick. And so then they say, okay, how about this? So you have 3 or 4 versions of something that already existed. It's like, this angel food cake, let's add a little bit more vanilla to it, or let's, maybe we could tweak this and make it a little fluffier. But it's still angel food cake. It's not like you invented it. Where Phil's trying to invent something from scratch. And he's finding, like the first version ate through the bottle. Like, how would you know that unless you'd had it in bottles for 6 months? So it ate through my bottle and leaked all over the wall. I mean, so he had it in the wrong type of bottle. And then the second and third, so he's had all these different versions to try to improve it. And you figure out that, like, one he was telling me, he said, man, we can't, I think version 2, he's like, we can't get this in a bottle. Like, because it foams up. The whole idea is it's supposed to foam. So it foams up like crazy. They can only fill the bottle like a quarter of the way and have to let it sit for a day for the foam to disappear. So, I'm probably exaggerating, but he was talking about how complicated the learning process is when you're developing a product from scratch. So I really admire that. I would maybe like to do that as well someday. I'm not in a position to do that now. It's what I'm chasing. But if I were going to create a detailing line, that's what I would want. Bespoke, start from scratch, not just work with recipes and change the scent and color like pretty much every non-long-term line is. All these things you see that are out there, from whether it's some professional detailers come out with the line, or 2 guys that decided that they were into cars and they had a garage, or you're a YouTube guy and you come out with a line of it's all just recipes from a blender, and then they're just sort of tweaking it a little bit, and the amount of energy you'd have to do to take a recipe and tweak it to make something great, something different, it's just not. I haven't met too many people that are willing to do that. Phil from AutoFanatic is one. He's one of the very few people that I've met that I'd say, okay, yeah, this guy's he's gonna figure it out. Anybody else? No, absolutely, positively not. That's how are you gonna beat G-Technic at their game or C-Quartz at their game? You're not gonna beat them unless you are really, really focused on like one product. And even then, you probably still won't beat them. Even after all that work.
They got quite a head start.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hey, our buddy Judd is here. Hey, Judd. He's actually, I'm trying to talk him into coming in here and sitting down with you and Kyle because he wants to do some stuff in his garage.
Sweet. Let's do it.
Just Drive, super chat here, wants to know, I guess you're given an option here: F82 M4 or GT350.
Oh, GT350 every day of the week, yeah, for sure. Yeah, the M4 looks way better, fit and finish, the seating position. The new competition package seats are, I guess they're not new anymore, but you see one of those rolling at you down the road. I'm like, holy crap, that thing looks amazing. And then you hear it farting by. So yeah, GT350, 100% for me. The drivetrain. I wish you could take the GT350 drivetrain and put it in an M4, and now you have perfection. The M4, M3 are two of the best looking cars ever built in history, in my opinion. You can put any wheels you want on it. Look fantastic. You do anything to it. Lip, no lip, car, they're just amazing. They look so good. LEDs, no LEDs, it's just so good.
All right, let's see here. We have another super chat question from Yeti Nards. If you lived in the snow belt with unpredictable weather 5 months of the year, what non-SUV/CUV performance-oriented car would you daily drive for kid duty, etc.?
No, I'd never buy a CUV because that's ridiculous. And it's like, what is the point of that? It's a car on stilts. Just buy a car. It's not even on stilts enough to get around in the snow. It's like an X3 or like I always think, what is that Lexus thing, the RX 300 or whatever? Mm-hmm. I always think of like really, really smelly realtor, they just wear like a ton of, what would be like a
Dracar Noir.
Yeah. But a female, so it would be whatever the version, like
I don't know,
Tresor or something. Remember back in the 90s. So I think 90s. I think gold trim. So those, I don't understand the point. It doesn't have any more room than a car. You just sit up a little taller. What do you have problems steering? And those are the people that are underhanded steerers too, right? So don't do this. Break your habits of the underhand steering to reach under. Like, what does that even solve? Like, how is that better than just turning the wheel? Like, why do you reach under and like do one of these deals? I've got Michelle broken of that.
Oh, she used to do that.
You do that, don't you? Don't do that.
I've never done that.
Mike, don't do that.
I do have one of those knobs on the steering wheel that helps me.
I'd rather see you do that. I just don't understand that. You go like this and you stop and you take your hands off the wheel, or you take your hand off the wheel and you go, and then you what does that solve?
Just getting in some curls.
So that's the people who drive those cars. So stop driving those.
All right, so back to the question here.
So
which car?
An Audi is perfect, right? It's because you get a little bit of sporty, and you get all-wheel drive. I'd rather have an all-wheel drive Audi over an all-wheel drive BMW. Except for maybe an M5. An M5 would be pretty sick. The new G90 or whatever it's called. Problem is that car is going to be worth $60,000 in 2 years, and you're going to pay $140 for it. So, yeah, I think like an S4, an S6 would be what I would buy. That would be my winter vehicle. Would be an S6, because an S6 actually has a back seat. Unlike what I've learned, the M5 is useless. S6, put some snow tires on it, flying around everywhere. That'd be awesome. That's what I would buy. Or you go big. You buy, an X5 is a little bit bigger. So I've moderated. I used to think an X5 was stupid too, but an X5 is more useful than an M5. Even though they technically have the same amount of cargo space. The M5, just the seat's too far forward in the back. There's no room. So, if if everybody in your family's 5'4", then you're good to go. But if they're not, if they're bigger, then, if anybody's bigger than 5'4", you're screwed. So, or, maybe the mom and daughter are 5'1", and the son and dad are, 6 feet, then maybe you might be able to swing it. But it's just, there's just not a lot of room, where an S6 has plenty of room in the back seat. So RS6 Avant, that's where it's at. That's what I would do. Or you go big. You go, Q7. Gosh, why did BMW put those hideous grills on the darn X7? So big and ugly. Same thing with the new X5. They're like, it looks like this big clown face. It's, so bad. Why do they do that? But yeah, stay away from the little baby cars. What is the point? Like a Macan. I don't understand the point of a Macan. What is the point of that? There's no room. and it's tall, so it doesn't handle as well. So what is the point of that car? Why does that car even exist? It doesn't do anything for you. So I don't know. I know Macan handles well. It's kind of fun to drive, but and I guess it makes sense if you wanted a Porsche, because Porsche doesn't make a sedan. They make the Panamera, which is like they vomited out a vehicle and said, here you go. If Porsche made an M5 competitor, S6 competitor, oh my gosh, I'd buy it every year. I'd buy a new one every year. I'd get a 12-month lease. Just give me a new one every year. It'd be amazing. If they had all the same Porsche stuff, fit, finish, Burmester as an option instead of some crappy B&O system or something, oh, it'd be so great. The other thing that would be cool if they actually worked would be a Range Rover, like a Range Rover Sport or a Range Rover, what is it, the SVR. Those things are pimp.
That was a suggestion here from Brian. The Range Rover Sport. It's most confident in the snow. Lots of luxury and tech.
Yeah, and they're fast, and they actually handle reasonably well. It's just the tech doesn't actually work. That's the problem. Especially for me, I'd be having to take it down to the darn dealership getting fixed all the time. And those, I hate making generalizations about cars and things that everybody else kind of makes generalizations about, but a Range Rover, unfortunately, that kind of comes with the territory, that they are very problematic, and I don't want it to be that way because I want one.
All right. Noe wants to know about, can you get a trip report? How was the GT Smokies?
Oh, it was great. So much fun. I, for the first time in my car guy existence, almost crashed. The traction control got me. I don't know. It was late in the day, and I was down at the bottom of the Cherry Holland, really tight. There was no one around. It was probably like 6 p.m., I think, on Sunday, so most people are out of the mountains. And I had Christian follow me in a GT4, and I kind of left him. And I was coming around a turn, and I don't even know what the heck I did. I think I just got on throttle too quickly. And the rear end started to come around, and I didn't stay in it. So that would have been fine if I would have just stayed on the throttle. So I think I got on throttle pre-apex, and so I came around, and the traction control, I didn't even have to countersteer. The car just set me back straight again. But the rear end started to come around because I let off as soon as I felt the rear end start to come out. So I think what I did is I got on it pre-apex, and I let off. And when, on a 911, if you let off, then the rear end's going to come around on you because all the weight's back there. Instead of, if I would have just stayed on throttle, I would have pulled through, and maybe oversteered a little bit. And so when you let off throttle, then the car naturally, snap oversteers, and the traction control kicked in and straightened me out. But it was, I didn't almost crash. I don't even think I crossed over the line, but I'd never done anything like that before in any car ever, largely because I'm a sissy. But that was the first time, and that sort of snapped me into place. So, Andy, we were supposed to go make a driving video, a car control video, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. I've reached my limit because I got there. I went up on Thursday, and I just did a solo drive. I drove for 7 hours. I got out of the car once to get gas. And I did the, Blood Mountain, Wolf Pen Gap, Highway 60. I did Waya Road. I did the Dragon out and back. I did Hellbender. I did the other section of 129 coming out of the Dragon. I did about half the Cherahalla, all in one day. It was amazing, just by myself, just out ripping it. Just driving comfortably, reasonably fast, and people getting out of my way all day. No one behind me. What's fascinating is that several times in the mountains, I always, like with street bikes, I always let them go by because I think they're going to be fast, and then then they have to point me by because I'm on them, and they're just too slow. So you would think, street bike, most of them, the guys are too slow. They get up on you because like I'll be in behind somebody, and then the person will let me pass, and I'll just kind of pull over a little bit and point the bike by, and next thing you know, I'm on the bike, and they start panicking, and then I gotta back off, and then they let me go by. So that happened 3 times. So most of the time, not every time. Like if a person was really competent on a bike, forget it. But yeah, the mountains are just so good, so good, so much fun. The real cool part of the mountains for me is the in between, the lunch, the dinner, the breakfast, hanging out with your buddies. You know, these are all people that are like-minded. We've now known for 5 years now. This is the 5th year of the Fall Smokies event for the GT cars, and just so cool. So I talked the hotel owner. We're going to be doing a dedicated wash bay there now, so I'll have that at the hotel.
Let's see. We have some people asking now if Michelle is getting a dog, and if so, what kind?
No. She pulled that crap on me, but then I got home. She's like, I don't want a freaking dog. She's like, I can't handle what I got. How am I going to handle another, dog peeing and puking and crapping all over the house? So yeah, no dog. She likes those golden doodles, which I said to her, they look fantastic. They look super cute when they're small, but then they turn into this ugly thing. So I'm not into that.
That's the way all dogs work.
Yeah, that is true, I guess, right?
Let's see. There are lots of obsessed people that are into classic cars. Do you think your channel will ever dial in a classic enthusiast car, Datsun, 70s Porsche, E30 M3, something along those lines?
Definitely not E30 M3. Definitely not a muscle car. But I would like something like 78 to 84 or something like that, or 82 Carrera SC. Find one that's kind of ratty and just gut it, put it on a rotisserie, and make it awesome. And then get like a 3.6 built for it, make it like 350 horsepower, and put a modern chassis, and then just kind of make it a very, very plain, very simple interior. So in other words, spend $200,000 on a car like that, and then probably sell it by the time I'm done with it, because I'd hate it in comparison to my GT3. But yeah, that is in the cards. I would like that to be part of my like 5-year plan to do in my big garage that I build at my house, and like a project that I work on like once every month or two. I doubt I'd be able to do that, like a rational person. We have a bunch of projects you kind of get to when you get to. But theoretically, I think that I would want to like be that guy that like once every other week go out and sand down a panel or something like that, prep the car and send it off to paint and have it come back, and take my time and and assemble the engine myself. And I think I would probably do it in 2 months, the whole car. Work 8 hours a day for 2 months straight.
All right, let's see here. Brian Baker says, thanks for the Tar-X, buddy. This stuff is amazing. Nothing like driving through sprayed-on tar on the road.
Yep, Tar-X is legit.
Tar-X works.
Yep.
Jim L. Looks to be a Canadian resident. What are your thoughts on a 911 Carrera S as a first dive into owning a Porsche?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did. My suggestion would be, so there's 2 ways to do this. You could go get a new one and enjoy the experience of a new car, right? Of buying and waiting and speccing and all of that, and digging in the configurator, and you get latest technology and everything. That's one way to do it. The problem is I don't like the new car as much as I like the old car, because it's not naturally aspirated. It's a 3-liter turbo, and so the car kind of loses some of its appeal to me. And so, if I was going to buy a Carrera, if I wasn't that GT car, if I wasn't going to go to that level yet, or maybe never, I would want a 2015 Carrera GTS. That's the car for me, because it's naturally aspirated. I think is it a 3.6 or 3.8? I think it's 3.8. So it's a 3.8 9A1, naturally aspirated. Was it 430 horsepower? Sounds amazing. You put an exhaust on it, get some lowering springs and some spacers, and call it a day. I think it's fantastic. So that's what I would look for. You're going to be 90 to 110 grand for that car. It's just a lot of car for that cost, and it sounds amazing.
Let's see here. Matt Jones has an astute observation here. The wall art behind you needs updating now.
Yeah. Nah, I think
Can we keep that.
I think we can keep that forever.
The black art graphics over there.
Oh,
as well.
shoot. Yeah, you're right. Crap, I got to do more updating than I was planning.
Yep.
Luckily, most people, like, I'm telling you, I wanted to just leave the car, not to like get in trouble, but to just see how long it would take Michelle to realize it's a different car. I bet you I could have made it 6 months.
At least.
Yeah.
I don't know, the green on the wheels.
Yeah, but I could have just played. So yeah, I wanted to try something new on the wheels, and she probably would have never. She's been in my other car twice, so.
Dean wants to know, where did you get the obsessed nut idea for a logo?
My friend Steven Salto we were in a Bible study at that we did in the early afternoon, or we did at lunchtime. There was 5 of us in a little group with the pastor of the church, and he does graphic design, and he was working for a company, but he was doing some stuff on the side. And Obsessed Garage, I just kind of created the name for it. And he said, I'll make you a logo for. Then I was sort of sharing what we were doing or what I was doing. He said, I'll make you a logo for that. That was 2015, probably mid 2015. And he came up with the idea that the Obsessed Garage logo. There weren't like 2, 3, 4 iterations. That was it, instantly. And then that's where the hex, it made sense to just pull the hex out and use that as as another piece of it. But yeah, that's how it came about.
Let's see. Jonathan says, "Hey Matt, wanted to drop by and buy some products from OGHQ. Would you be interested in driving my Tesla Model 3 Performance?" ?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have much of an interest in Teslas. Sorry, buddy, but that Model 3 is so darn ugly. I don't know if I want to be seen in it. But yeah, I guess. I've ridden in one a few times. I've never driven one. I'd be interested in putting in autopilot mode and having it drive me around. That would be cool. Acceleration is never really my thing, and that's really all those things do well. So the acceleration's not really my bag. So sorry to disappoint, but.
All right, folks, we have a couple questions wanting to know about the next giveaway that you've discussed before. Wanting to know if it's a car or something else, or if it's going to be the Corvette, or if there are plans.
Yeah, so I'm not going to give away a car. Hopefully I won't do that again.
Hold on, I'm writing this down.
Yeah, so I don't intend to give away a car unless I become like this big thing in the Corvette community. I don't intend on giving that away. I intend on just selling it when I'm done with it. But what I do intend on doing is giving away garages. So what is our date? October 20th is the launch now?
20th, yes.
So we're going to go October 20th to December 25th. We're doing a full-on garage giveaway, like super legit. Flooring, lighting, cabinets, tools, air compressor, full detailing line, stainless shelves. Basically, come in, do your whole garage, and we're gonna have some really sick gear that I think you're gonna want anyway. So we have all the gear coming out, which will be something you buy in order to get a spot, and we're gonna start that in a week.
October 20th. So
and
10
then
days.
Me and Mike and I are flying out to your house. First, you're going to fly here. We're going to design it. We're going to pick everything out, colors, style, all of that. And then we'll get everything ordered. And then however long it takes to get everything to your house, you're not allowed to touch it. So I'm going to ship it all there. You're going to just put it on the side of your garage. Make your wife park your wife's car outside. And then I'm going to come out there. And hopefully you live in the south, not in the north. I'm going to freeze my butt off. And we're going to build your darn garage. It's going to be amazing. If you don't have a garage, which I'm hoping somebody that wins that does, if you don't get that, your other option is take 30 G's cash, which will be for your down payment of your first home, hopefully, or maybe second home or whatever, your down payment on something. And I'm going to fly you out here, and I'm going to give you, we're going to do a 2-day wash and train session. If you already know what you're doing, we'll just do it with some washing and polishing together, and we'll critique each other and hang out and go to dinner and do that kind of stuff, and then send you home. That'll be cool. And then the second prize will be a full detailing package. There'll be 2 winners. Grand prize winner gets option A or B, which is full garage or cash. Option B, or I'm sorry, second prize is a full detailing package with everything. All the OG, the Matt Mormon package. Pressure washer, bucket package, polishers, polishing package, car washing package, microfiber package, wheel cleaning package, decon package, interior package, all the packages.
Pretty much one of everything in the store.
Correct. Lighting package, all that stuff. No plane ticket though for the second prize.
No, but lots of cool stuff. Because I think when part of that video when Jim won the 1M, people were super excited seeing you pull stuff off the shelves, and they're like, "Oh man, that's what I really want."
Yeah. I said I'd rather have that than the car. I said, "Well, shoot, there's my giveaway, not the car. My giveaway is the stuff that we all want, that the people that are watching my stuff want. And what I want to do is go to someone's house and build a garage. It'd be freaking cool. And so I'm going to do what I want and what they want. It's a win-win for everybody."
All right, so I had a question here. How are entries going to work for the people that already have the Hex Plus membership?
Oh, just buy something else. Yeah,
there's
buy
gonna be-
shirts, hats,
Shirts, hats, hoodies,
Yep, hoodies.
long sleeve shirts.
Yep.
Because we're since it's winter time for some of you folks, we
Yeah.
wanted to have some cooler weather clothing.
Or you could buy another Hex membership under your wife's name or something if you really wanted to. I'm down with that.
And
You know what we could have? You know what we should do? It's too late now. But could we? Because you can't sell a raffle ticket, right? You just can't sell a ticket. It can't be open to the public if you're going to sell a ticket. It has to be finite. It has to be like part of a club or something like that. So what if we made it so that you could make a donation to the membership, and for every $30 you donate, you get an entry, or whatever the formula of entries worked out to be. So let's say you're a Hex member, a Hex Lite member, and you said, "Well, I'd like to get another entry, but I really don't want any of these shirts or anything like that. I mean, I would rather have it send me a cool shirt." But let's say you didn't want that, or you had all the shirts, so you bought all the shirts. You wanted to get more spots because you're a gambler and you want to improve your odds. So you could say, you could do just $30 increments of buying into the Hex membership, because some membership programs, what they do is they have a base price or other, meaning you could choose to donate, basically say, "Hey, I really enjoy this content. Here's $1,000 kind of thing," just like Super Chat. And so, I wonder if we could, maybe in a future thing, have it set up so that through the membership, because they are getting an exchange in that they are getting membership, and so you donate to the membership program an infinite amount of entries, and that's what gets you an entry into your, into the membership program.
We'll speak with the attorney.
Yeah.
Oh, and we should touch on that while we're on this about international residents. So it's open to U.S., all of Canada except Quebec, but that is all.
Yeah, because I can't do a garage. I can't ship all this stuff to Australia. And so I'm going to do a separate come winter time. We'll see how this goes, but I'm going to do a separate international open to anyone in the world for a full detailing package.
Right. So international folks, we were thinking of you. We were trying to make it work, but
yeah, I can't do a prize, a grand prize, and a second and a first prize, and make the first prize open to certain parts of the world, and the grand prize open to certain parts of the world. It has to be either or. So I couldn't make that work for this round, and so I don't want to do two concurrently. So we'll hold up and we'll do another one in the winter if it works out. Let's like a little giveaway, of $10,000 worth of cool stuff.
All right, let's see here. Why didn't you go with American Racing headers? Which headers did you go with?
I went LG Motorsports.
Okay.
I talked to them. I talked to Cooks. I talked to American Racing Headers. I talked to a bunch of different people, and I just decided to take a roll at LG. I was buying their sway bars and I was buying their drop spindles already, and there are a lot more American Racing Headers people that bought them, and there just isn't a lot of information on LG, so I figured I'm going to give it a shot. They all seem pretty much the freaking same anyway, so I don't think it really matters. But they look pretty legit, so I got them. They're sitting out there.
And that's coming up soon, Corvette stuff. We had a couple more people who joined us late were asking about Corvette content. It's coming soon.
Here's one epiphany on all of this stuff. So, we talked about last week about disclaiming and not disclaiming and all that, being honest and not being on, do you want me to lie to you kind of thing. But another thing I've been thinking about was the companies giving me stuff or asking, say, hey, look, I'm going to make a bunch of videos and this is going to sell a lot of crap for you. But then when I do it my style, so what we had is, I had a product that I put on a car here recently. And the company, I didn't even really want it, but they sent it to me. And I put it on and I made a video. The same style of my video. And I liked it. It was good. It worked out pretty well. And the freaking dude emails me and he's like, I don't know what he wanted me to do, like make a commercial and just say this is the greatest and the latest and the best in the world. But what I don't want, I'd rather freaking buy the thing. I mean, it's like $300 of the stuff. I'm not selling my soul unless you write me $100,000 check, and even then, I'm not interested. So, like a lot of this Corvette stuff, I decided I'm just going to buy it all, and I'm just buy it and pay retail for it because I want to be able to say whatever it is I want to say. I don't want to be telling me anything. These companies are so naive. Like, I'm not going to say bad stuff about it, but you want me to tell the truth. You want me to take you through the process, especially Porsche guys, and BMW guys. They're too smart. You can't lie to them. You can't sugarcoat it. They're going to see right through that. So if something is a 20-minute install and I say it's going to take me an hour and a half, that means that it's probably going to take the dude who's watching this 2 hours to do it. Or maybe it'll only take him an hour because he got to watch my video. But it never works out like people think it's going to work out. And I'm the living example of that. And I don't want to show that in a video. I want to show it for real. And so it's just... these companies, like I just don't want to be told what to do. Don't tell me what to do.
Well, you mentioned earlier that when you do something, obviously for the first time, it's going to go... not quite as well as you're doing it for the 90th time.
Calling it, they made it from scratch, and so they don't realize that all of the issues that can come. Now, if they've been using it or selling it for a long time, then they start to realize that, oh shoot, these are all the problems. These are all the things, like these idiots, people. I'm sure it frustrates the heck out of them because it frustrates us when people are stupid. But that's sometimes you just overlook something. You can read the instructions, you can watch videos, you can do whatever you want, and so. I was thinking about, I was reaching out to ACS Composites. I'm like, these guys sponsor everybody. I'm like, they should probably just send it to me. But then I'm just going to freaking buy it. I'll make the money back up on the long run. And that way I don't have to I'm not beholden to anybody. All the LG stuff I bought, they gave me a discount on it. I didn't even ask for it. I just said, hey, I'd like to do this together. Here's what I'm thinking about doing some videos. And they called me back and said, hey, we'll give you a discount on this stuff. And so now, I'm still going to do it, say it like it is, but hopefully they're smart enough to let me do my thing and I'm just giving people the information, good or bad. I'm giving them the information. Like I say this all the time. I probably sold more Sunjos than anybody else on the planet by saying how much a Sunjo sucks. But I at least said it sucked while showing them all of the detail. Here's why I don't like it. Here's the good. Here's the bad. Here's why I think it sucks. But to a smart person, they look at that and say, yeah, I get what he's saying here. He doesn't like it because he has a freaking $1,200 pressure washer. Is it good enough for me? He gave me enough information. Yeah, I think it's good enough for me. So Yeah, all the Corvette stuff I'm buying. No, I'm not getting any sponsored crap. BMW, it's a little easier. Like, I like Dynan, pseudo sponsors me on all this stuff. They send me a lot of the stuff, and I put a lot of effort into putting the installs and making videos and taking photos and putting on Instagram and all of that stuff, and putting my stamp of approval on the Dynan stuff. But I know it. I know I'm gonna like it. There's no question. I was gonna buy it regardless. So anyway, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, so sorry to Jonathan and the rest of you out there who are waiting for today's rant. It doesn't seem like it's coming, so that was as close as you got today. Would you ever consider a Viper ACR?
No.
Another American car.
Yeah, no.
Big, bulky.
Yeah, they're kind of small, but no.
Let's see. Would you ever buy / mod an NSX?
New NSX, maybe. I like those. I think they're pretty cool. But probably not. You're probably going to see me slow down on cars here, because I'm going to be focused on garage over the next year. But who knows? We'll see.
All right, so I think that's all the questions we got today. Oh yeah, a few people have asked here about if you've seen Troy Sauer's new ride. What's your thoughts?
Oh yeah. Troy sent it to me. Troy's always like, don't tell anybody, but here's the car I'm getting. Yeah, GT4 mint green. I think it's sweet.
That color is pretty nice.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I'm not cool enough to pull that color off, but I don't dislike it. I think it's cool, and yellow works really well with that car. But that's a great car for him. The GT4 really suits him. I think he's really going to enjoy that car. I think he's going to enjoy the ability to just get in and drive it and not have it breaking all the time. And so I think he's going to have a blast with it. And it's so much cheaper to operate. You don't have these huge expenses all the time with it. You don't need an extended warranty on it or anything like that. So I think he's going to really. I don't think he's ever going to go away from Porsche after this. But we'll see. He did have a Lamborghini and a McLaren, and those cars I have no interest in those. Especially a Lamborghini. You gave me one, and so I punt it. So here you take it back.
Let's see, Matt. I'm selling my GT4, and I also have a new A4.
Mm-hmm.
What car would you suggest to replace both and just have one fun, usable, fun car?
Yeah, I think a really great, fun, usable car would be a Carrera GTS. And depending on how big and how much you need to put people in the back, the other car that would be great would be an E92 M3, because that you can put people in the back of that, or a GT350 would also be cool. So those would all be my choices to stay fun. Because if you go to an S6 or an M5 or something like that, you lose the fun. They look pimp, they look nice, they look cool. People respond to them. They look the part, but you're going to be kind of bored with those. Whereas an M3, a Carrera GTS or Carrera S, something like that would be a great all-arounder, depending on where you're at in life. If you've got two teenagers, then you're screwed. You can't do that. That's where an M3 or maybe like an E90 M3 would be cool.
All right, here Kyle's chiming in the chat. This is good. We want to let people know. The Krenzla 1122 TSTs are shipping today. There was an issue up there with the supplier. They were lacking certain boxes, so we had some people waiting. So if you're one of those people, they are coming out today, which is October the 10th, Thursday, or if it doesn't ship today, it'll definitely go out tomorrow, Friday the 11th.
Got it.
Let's see. My M5 is way more fun than my M3, says Jordan.
No way. There's no chance. Only if you like going straight really fast and with no sound except for drone. Yeah, there's no way anyone could think that. There's just too much. There's lots of horsepower, but that doesn't mean anything. M3 is so much better.
All right, so let's see here. I'm going to bring up your calendar. Next week, you're at the BMW Car Club thing.
Yep, so
South
I'm going
Carolina.
up with Shell Oil, and so I'm going there and shoot some videos of, I don't know what, but of something. And I'm sure I'll see lots of people that I've either know of or know, and or have said they're going to come and shake my hand. So that'll be cool. That's in Greenville, South Carolina, Spartanburg, South Carolina. And then SEMA's coming. Yeah, so maybe we'll do the podcast on Friday next week.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, the podcast is doing surprisingly well. I'm surprised, how many people we have watching it.
331 right now.
But I mean, we'll get 5,000 views, which is for a live podcast is pretty darn good for the size of channel that I have and the amount of people that are watching. So I'm really pumped. I haven't been looking at the downloads and Libsyn, but we probably double that with downloads. So I guess the consistency of this, and I mean, you and I just kind of said, hey, let's do the podcast where you hold me accountable and ask me questions every week. And so I think it's really kept people up to date with what's going on. I really enjoyed doing it, yelling at the thing, yelling at the screen. That's something I've freaking been hacking me off. So I showed. Shoot, here we go.
It took, for those of you keeping track,
it just dawned on me about the podcast. I don't know why the podcast jarred my memory. So I'm buying the GT3 RS. So I'm sitting there. I'm buying this car, and I'm like, this guy Tony, they're super transparent. He's like, show me. He's like, look, if you want to finance, you can finance. We don't mark up the rate. We're gonna show you the computer. We're gonna put it in here. I'll show you. I'm losing $20,000 on this car. We bought or $16,000 on the car. I bought it. We listed it at this price. We're gonna honor that price. So I got to give you a little less for your car, so I can at least not get killed on this. So I can hopefully make make a few bucks back toward what I'm losing on this RS, because every other RS is $10,000 over. And so I'm like, well, let's show people that, let's show me buying the car. And I have a loan against the GT3, because why the heck not? The GT3 holds. I mean, yes, it went from 200,000 to 155. But if I needed to sell the car, I mean, I'm always in equity. I'm always in positive on the car. So I'm like, well, I'd rather just keep a note on the car rather than using my cash to buy the thing. We could have paid off the other GT3, but why? Just make a monthly payment on it. It doesn't cost much. We're writing off the interest anyway. We've depreciated the car. I'll keep the cash, and I'll be able to buy more inventory and other things. So I can take that $150,000 and turn it. And so these freaking people in making comments and videos like, you don't own it, the bank does. What are you freaking talking about? You have no idea. Anybody who says that has no idea what they're talking about. What are you No, that's not how it works. My name is on the freaking title. The bank has a lien against it. If I don't make a payment on it, then they can come and take the car as collateral. I own the car. I also own the obligation to make the payments, you idiot. Just like a lease. You will say, wow, you lease the car, so you don't own it. You're just renting it. No, you own the car. It's just a different form of financing. And just because you're financing it doesn't mean you can't afford it. And that's what I was talking about when I said, look, I don't know what the payment shouldn't matter. The payment is going to be this simple math. The payment's whatever, it's amortized over a certain period of time over the rate of interest. And if the rate of interest is acceptable, which it is at 3.85%. I don't know what our return is on that money, but it's freaking astronomical. Because we're able to turn it, and we make a 40% margin every time we turn it. Over the next 6 years of having that loan, how many times am I going to turn $150,000? Shoot, countless times over that time frame. So what's a loan going to cost me? $10,000, and it's going to make me $1 million. You're freaking idiots. Only stupid people don't understand how this stuff works, and then keep your freaking mouth shut. You're like, why are you commenting on something you know nothing about? You're just freaking idiots. And I'm just trying to show people how this game is played. Because 90% of dudes don't go and pay cash for a car, especially if you own a business. It doesn't make any sense. I keep my cash. If you're working to that, stop. Take your cash and go make some money with it. And stop working toward debt-free. That's not the way to do it. Use debt smartly, not don't go around a bunch of credit cards buying Stitch Fix and other bull crap. Don't do that. Buying watches and things like that. But don't go out and buy a bunch of cars and car parts if you can't swing it. But do you really frickin' think that I'm too stupid that I don't understand how this works? That's why I was sharing it. I can't believe you lost $75,000. Well, that's what cars do. What do you think? How do you think this works? We've had this short honeymoon period where people think that GT3 RSs or GT3s are going to hold their value forever. No, they don't. It's only if you get lucky and you time it exactly right, and you get it when the supply-demand curve is off the charts and the dealerships are doing some really slimy crap by not letting people buy the cars and they're flipping them. Otherwise, you end up... So I got $20K under the car. I sold my car for $10K under market value, so I still was $10K to the good over what it would have been. The reason why it was $75,000 is because the new car was $30,000 more than the old car. So $30,000 more. I got $10K less than my car, and I pay a $10K premium to buy my car. So that's why the delta is there. But it's over 2 years. You know how much money that car has made me? You really don't think... Do you think I didn't think of that? That's almost as stupid as putting lettuce on a freaking hamburger. Why would you? This is dumb. So leave me out of your stupid comments, stupid people.
The lettuce is way worse. But
how about that? If, the last rant I had, freaking dude, it was what's his name, Scott. He's freaking posting the group. What is wrong with this guy? He calls his followers stupid. Yeah, I do. When you're stupid, you're stupid. I can't help that. It's not my fault.
I want to circle back to one thing real quick here, because Antonio had a super chat earlier and I failed to mention it, and I just saw his name pop up again. So Antonio says, respect for keeping me motivated. I want to be like you when I grow up. LOL. So clearly Antonio.
Yeah, and so I talked about it in the video. Like I wasn't intending to buy that car. Isn't it so freaking cool that I could do that? And that not only can I do that, but if I do that, people respond to it, and it helps me build a bigger business. That's what's so freaking cool. And I mean, that's something I want to do. I don't want to lose $75,000. I don't want to lose any money, on anything ever. But when you're dealing with cars, that's part of the deal. It's part of the game. And have 25% depreciation on a car over 2 years. When it's now a 3-year-old car is not all that bad in comparison to most others. We just kind of gotten into this thing where we think that Porsche GT cars don't depreciate either. Well, they do, and it may restabilize. Just like my house in Claremont, when we needed to move up here, I sold it for $125,000, bought it for $280,000, got destroyed, and it seems that I do this a lot. But you know what? I'm just going to outwork it and not worry about that kind of bull crap. I don't want to retire anyway. What am I going to do? No retirement goals. And I want to have money so that I can do whatever the heck I want to do whenever I want to do it. But instead of micromanaging all this bull crap and telling other people that they don't know what they're, the bank owns their car, just keep your mouth shut. Just shut it. Stay out of my stuff. I hate it when I show people things and they're too stupid to realize that I'm showing them the answer to things, and then they use that against you. I can't believe that. Well, did you sit down with a sheet of paper and actually crunch some numbers and see, well, I can see why they would do this. So, yeah, it freaking makes me so angry.
One last important question here from Nathan. What about a wrap using lettuce instead of a typical wrap?
Ugh, no.
What about a Five Guys? You can get the...
I tried that once. I'm this is the worst move ever. What I did is I just kicked the lettuce out and ate the meat. I'm what? Why lettuce? I'll just grab the meat with my hands or cut it with a fork. How about no wrap? How about just meat?
I like it.
Or even better, how about we put it on a bun? How about that? Next thing we're going to do is a tomato wrap and there's juice slopping all over the place. I wouldn't mind tomatoes by themselves. I've said that before. But not on my freaking hamburger. Certainly not cooked tomatoes. Ugh.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, so we're out for today. We'll be back Friday of next week because you'll be out of town. Do not forget the shirts. And also, I think, Bryce, we also have the hat up there from the giveaway, that charcoal.
Oh, the orange one?
Well, we have all the hats actually from the giveaway. The 3D printed ones and the hex one, the snapback. Those are now also in the store. So if you're interested in those, you can go grab those.
If you're cool enough to pull those, flat brims off.
There we go. So yeah, thanks, James, our big-headed friend James. I love how this stemmed from asking about sandwiches last week. That all lettuce and
do lettuce elsewhere.
A couple people mentioned that in the chat. We still need that shirt.
Yeah. Peace out.